What's going on, everybody? Painblade back here again from Server 1 representing ISC and Tribes Live. And today I am not the only one doing the representing. We got a whole cast of people here today to not only represent their own servers, not only to represent Tribes, but the community as well. So I want to thank everybody for joining the first ever collaboration between Server 1 and Server 7, to Server 7, I apologize. And hopefully we're going to be doing a lot more of this, guys. So first off, I want to thank everybody for jumping on the chat earlier and subscribing. And obviously, the people who are going to be on the panel, I want to thank all of you for taking time of your day to jump on here and talk about Tribes, everything that's Tribes. And we have quite a bit to cover, guys. So before we jump into the actual content, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick introduction of the folks that are here. You saw the cast intro already. So I want to say a special shout out to Savage Gamers. Jump on his YouTube, guys. Subscribe to him. But he created that awesome intro. So let's get into it, guys. So Server 1 today, representing Server 1, that is. It's myself. You guys know that already. We got MRN.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
We got AJ for days.
How's it going?
And we would have had Savage Gamers. Unfortunately, the man couldn't make it. But again, special shout out to him for everything he did. All right, and Server 2, guys, we got Bun. And we got Lady G.
Hi, what's up, everybody?
All right, Server 3, we got Blue.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We got Cup.
Take up lefty, yeah.
No, Cup left as well. Sorry, guys. And unfortunately, Blindside couldn't make it. He might show up later, though. Bun is on silence. I'll make sure he does jump on and say what's up. But Blindside couldn't make it. For Server 4, we had Binato. Unfortunately, he also had something come up. Yared had something come up, but we do got Zal. Zal, say what's up.
Hey everyone.
There you go. Thank you, sir. A lot of people have been waiting to hear your voice. So, Server 5, guys, we had COD. Unfortunately, he had something come up as well. He might join us later. So, Server 5 is not being represented today. We'll do all the talking on their behalf. We got plenty to say, anyways. Server 6, we got Lord Sishimaru. Say what's up, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Perfect. And Server 7 from Mythic, we got Shanks.
Yo, what's up?
And we got Brody.
What's going on?
And our Server 7 troll, who unfortunately couldn't make it because he's probably trolling a wedding right now, Fluff. Hopefully, you know what, we'll get him on the next video. All right, guys, that takes care of the intro. So what I wanted to do, guys, today is I wanted to go over everything that is Tribes up to this point, but we're going to start off first and foremost with the actual 6-month anniversary. All right, so let's talk about this. First thing, the overview of the 6-month anniversary. How's Bandai doing this event? Let's jump into this for Server 1. AJ for days, bro. Talk to me. I know you've had rough times with Poland. But how are they doing the 6-month event?
Well, so far, with Sasuke Band, I think it's a pretty good unit overall. So that's pretty good. Nice that everybody gets a good unit, and it's pretty easy to farm. Gives you, a chance to get some Awakening orbs and scrolls, which is always nice. And then, Sage Naruto and Jiraiya, it's all I'm waiting for. 2 days when the banners come out, I think. And until then, I'll let you know in 2 days how the anniversary is going.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely know in 2 days how it's going. Either you're going to be quitting the game, or I know you're going to be sticking around, one way or another.
Yeah.
So you bring up a good point. I want to ask the rest of the panel here. Sasuke SR. Now, we know with the 1 million download, we had a UR that was a carbon copy, essentially, of the original Naruto SR. What did you guys think of this? What did you guys think of the drastic change of going from a UR that was a carbon copy to a complete different SR?
Dash here from Tribes Lab, and honestly, I felt that the SR Sasuke Heavy was a complete breath of fresh air. Having a Sasuke as a D unit, doing a carbon copy in the title, but making his kit completely different was awesome. Having a farmable unit that is close to being a game-wide top tier tank, especially with that 2-turn guard rate on his jutsu. It's just phenomenal. As far as in a farmable event UR goes, dude couldn't be better.
And
Agreed.
Sorry, and Dash, I apologize. I forgot. So Dash is from Server 15, guys, but he also represents Tribes Lab, and I realized I didn't introduce him. So Dash or Slash, who also is a key element to the spreadsheet that you guys all look at. So I want to say thank you, and I apologize for not introducing you. So, and you make an extremely good point. He is, I think, one of the best characters that have come out in a very long time. I want to know this. Like, a lot of us here are whales or dolphins or have a ton of URs. How many of you guys are actually putting him on your main team?
I am AJ.
AJ, I know you're using him, yeah?
He's already on my team.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Same over here.
MRN. So what about some of the like Blue? Are you using him at all? Because I know you're huge with events, but what about PvP? Do you use him at all?
Yeah, he's actually in my main PvP team.
Damn. So all of you guys are using it. So I think it's pretty unanimous. I think we're all pretty much using Sasuke SR. So for those who are just joining tribes during the 6-month anniversary, this is the reason why we made this video and we put him on the top tier. This character is now one of the best characters in the game. So everybody should be using him. He should be on everyone's squad. Now, with that being said, though, we talked about PvP, guys. Can you guys see him being used in PvE?
Yes.
Really? Okay, talk to me about that. Where would you use him in PvE?
Basically anywhere where you need a stun. That's it.
Okay. What about something like FG though, right? Where it's all about power.
I don't think so, personally. Just because guard rate is not as important.
Honestly, it depends.
Abyss, he might be useful.
Depends on the enemies, yeah.
Abyss.
Okay, so Abyss, right? Let's bring up Abyss. So those are that's
he's in
where
Abyss for sure.
Right. And who would you guys for Sasuke SR? Who would you guys pair him with? Like, who would be the let's say one of each class, a tank, another tank, a nuker, and let's say a support. What are the best 3 units he's probably paired with?
Are you talking PvE or PvP?
Let's talk about both.
For pairing.
Talk about both.
Well, PvP, I like running the Sasuke squad in my arena team. I got Kirin, UR heavy, and SR heavy, and that is a hell of a combo.
Okay, and that's Dash saying that, right? That's for PvP.
Yeah. For PvP, absolutely. For PvE, I'd probably pair him up in the full formation with another guard rate booster like Gara or Suigetsu to keep that guard rate continually stacking.
Okay.
But for PvP, with his status effects rate and of course his massive defense boost, he works really well with other crowd control characters.
Right. Okay, and it's funny that you say that. Like I know a lot of you guys are using the 3 Sasuke combo, and a 3 Sasuke combo, guys. We're not talking about trash can Sasuke. That's the adult Sasuke with 1 arm. We're talking about the UR heavy Sasuke, the Kirin Sasuke, and the SR Sasuke. Now, I personally don't like 3 stuns in 1 cell if it takes away from another cell, and we'll get more to that. There's one of the questions that somebody brought up is actually that specific question. We'll get to that, but it's good to know that a lot of you are using the 3 of them together, and it's working out for you guys. All right, let's jump into the other question I had. Is this character better than Naruto UR?
I like his kit more,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. I'd say he is.
You say he is? Okay, so that's Zal. Zal thinks he is. Anybody else?
I don't know about better, but I think I like the concept though, because he's easier to farm than the UR Naruto, simply because he's an SR. So if you have extra SR frags, you don't mind throwing them into him compared to throwing it into free to play UR. But they fill specific roles. They're not
Right.
They're not fighting for the same spot on the team.
So, and that's a good point. Now, I want to actually, Lord Sesshomaru, I want to ask you a question. I think you're the only person that buffed up your Sasuke as much as you did with weapon. How are you finding the results? Is he hitting hard or is he hitting like a tank?
No, he's hitting very hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Give us some numbers. Give us something like what is he hitting an A unit for?
So I know I fight Devo on our server. I know he has a 6-star Itachi and a 5-star Hibi. And Kahashi, minimum damage I see him do at 6-star with 5-star weapon is about 350k without a crit.
Damn, that's high. And how much weapon did you put into him?
5-star, so 400 weapons.
400 weapons, guys. So that's the thing. So if you guys are looking to main this character for a long time, get that weapon up because that'll give you the most damage boost. Get his scrolls up, but also remember, please save at least 125 weapon fragments for his LB6. That's an assumption, but the minimum should be 125. So as you can see here, there's some people who say he doesn't fill a nuke role, but you've got someone like Lord Sesshomaru who does have his weapons geared up and he's hitting as much as a nuke is. So that's amazing. That's awesome to hear. So let's get down to the next thing, guys. We've talked about what's going on now. I want to talk about what's coming up. And AJ, you already talked about this a little bit. How excited is everybody here for Sage Mode Jiraiya and Sage Mode Naruto? Like, what's the feeling here? Are we thinking that these guys are going to be OP, Are we thinking about this being a bait banner because there's 2 other or 3 other banners coming along the way? What are we thinking here?
So Dash back here from Tribes Lab, and personally, I feel like it's actually yes to both. I think they're going to be incredibly overpowered, but I also think it's 100% bait. I think that Jiraiya and Naruto, of course, with their link bonuses, are going to require both each other and any other units that come along, whether that be someone like Nagato or Minato, Kushina, any of the other things that we've discussed previously. But I feel like since it is Sage Mode Jiraiya, Sage Mode Naruto, this is what kicks off the anniversary. Bandai wants to really suck people in to keep them going on the anniversary. So these two are going to be some really good units.
Okay. And are you going to be pulling for those, Dash, or are you going to be holding off?
I just spent all my resources on Pain and Datara, and I got both of them, and they're both really good in my team, so I'll probably hold off. But, I'm going to have to wait until I see their kits and see what's up, because my PvP team is pretty set up as it is right now, and I don't really want to mess with anything unless I really have to.
Okay.
If Jiraiya and Naruto come out and they're absolutely broken, sure, I'll go for it, but may hold off just to see what's up, because again, those link bonuses are going to be killer if they require any other anniversary units.
Right, and going to those link bonuses, I want to ask AJ specifically, because I know you've been waiting a very long time for Sage Naruto. If you get Sage Naruto, are you going to stop, or are you going to still go for Sage Jiraiya if he's a link bonus? AJ, you on mute, bro?
My bad.
Yeah, it's all good.
I was agreeing. I think that it's going to be a bait banner, but I do think they're going to be good. Like, I want to say I hope there's like a UR guarantee banner coming soon, right?
Mhm.
Like they did for a 1 million download, but I'm going to keep going, I think. Because I don't have a lot of Shino coins anyways. So
Right.
I'm going to just go all in.
Okay, sounds good.
If I get Naruto first, and we'll see. If I get Jiraiya first, then I'll keep going until I pull Naruto.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right, perfect. And
We'll see.
can I get some people here give me some predictions on their type? Are we thinking T type, A type, D type? Like, give me Jiraiya and Naruto. I don't care. Anybody jump in with that.
This is Shanks here from Server 7. I definitely think Naruto is going to be a T unit, and I'm thinking Jiraiya is looking like a D unit, just from the way he looks and think about what his role was in the anime.
That's actually a very good prediction, because we do have a D Naruto and we have a T Naruto. Oh, sorry, a D Naruto and an A Naruto, but we don't have a T Naruto yet, right?
That's correct.
Anyone else? Anyone else have any predictions on this?
I actually think it's going to be a D Jiraiya and an A Naruto. I figure with Sage Mode, they're going to have him hit really, really hard, but I do agree with Shanks there that Jiraiya is going to be ridiculously tanky.
Okay. What are you guys thinking about Kit? Because we know they're dual Rasengan. Their tribes is a dual Rasengan. We know that already. So it's another Rasengan introduced. But what about the single moves? Are we looking at Rasengan for Naruto and Toad Oil for Jiraiya, or are we thinking of something completely different?
Honestly, that's what I thought. I thought Naruto was gonna have the Rasengan barrage and
Okay.
Toad Oil Jiraiya.
Okay, that's yeah. I'm on the same page as you on that, Blue. I think the same thing. Anyone else got any predictions on the Kit?
Actually, I don't think the drop special is the Rasengan. I think it's the old Jiraiya with Sage Naruto that's Rasengan.
Oh, really?
But yeah, the new two Jiraiya, the new two Sage characters are probably not Rasengan.
Oh, okay.
Just as legendary guts crafted by master and student. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, well that's interesting if it's different then, because that'd be actually kind of cool to see something completely else. Because I mean we've got so many Rasengan dual tribes now, not to mention single Rasengans, right? So it'd be nice to see something completely off the walls and different. All right, guys, so that's cool. I'm glad we brought that up. Now the next thing I want to talk about is actually what's coming up soon. So we know we have the Sasuke farming event currently. That's my screen, by the way, guys. That was a shitty run. C is really bad. Should have had Blue doing this with 90% instead of me. So we know that the Sasuke is ending in 2 days, I believe, or 3 days, and we're gonna have Someone say my name. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, guys. So we know Sasuke is ending. The new campaign coming up is going to be the tribes campaign, right? So increasing your tribe specials, updating the tribe percentages and the numbers. I'm curious to know, guys, for you, as people who probably use co-op. Now, I don't know if COD is here yet. I don't think he is. And this is actually, I think he might be the only one using tribes. But are you guys looking forward to this update? And are you guys going to reconsider using tribes at all?
Oh, there's Bun. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we do, Bun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Kai is the only one that using the adult Team 7 tribe still.
Oh my god, I forgot you use it too. Poor guy. I don't know how you're winning.
No, no problem. But yeah, I think we're all looking forward to the tribe buff, to be honest, because at the end, it's still the Naruto story, right?
Right. So,
Yeah.
would you so now, Bun, that's a good point. You and Cod are hardcore for L7 tribe. Are you going to reconsider using a different tribe at all, or are you just going to still focus on using the Adult 7 tribe?
Depends how the new tribe is going to be, to be honest. But for now, it's definitely adult Team 7 because investing on a tribe is pretty heavy resource, right?
Yeah, but now they've introduced the option to get more, I guess, orbs and other ways of increasing it. So if there is a way to increase more than one, what would be your second go-to?
Probably Gara's tribe.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I should just kick you off this panel now because you know how much I hate Tamari. No, I'm kidding. Okay, no, that's cool. I do like Gara's tribe, so that's actually not a bad one. And I know there's a lot of fans here of the Sannin tribe. And shout out to Azumi who didn't want to join. Is anyone focusing on them?
I mean, I have their EX tribe unlocked.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
And are you not using tribes because you think co-op is better?
Overall, yeah. I mean, like I said, the only good thing about tribes is that if you do get stunned, like before in the game or earlier in the game, it fixes your rotations a little bit. But they have more downsides than they have benefits.
Right. And let's talk about some of those downsides. Tell me some of those. What are the big ones?
The downsides or the benefits?
No, the downsides.
Downsides would be like, again, if you're slower on speed and you get stunned, you kind of lose your whole turn compared to, two people attacking or one person attacking. Instead, you have nobody attack that one turn. If you get stunned beforehand, then your tribe just goes to waste, right?
Right.
As well.
Okay. Yeah. Very valid points. Now, I want to actually bring up something about that. One thing you mentioned. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that if you're slower, if you're faster, tribes are more valid. A lot of people say that. Bun, I know you're one of the fastest players in this game, hands down. So I know it works really well for you. But I've always come back with a counter argument that even if you're fast, if you have a tribes gauge that's coming up and one of your opponents stun one of your characters after you attack them, you're now doing a co-op. So the question is, in my opinion, every tribe has a weakness. Every tribe. Tsunade, Papa Sasuke, etc. Every tribe. So if you get stunned, is it worth doing a co-op with 2 units that are mediocre versus a co-op team that you can build from scratch and make buffs the way you want them?
Co-op is definitely better, to be honest, for now, the meta right now. But for me, the reason that I'm doing tribe because I like to watch the animations.
Yeah, the animations. That's fair. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree with you. And the animations are awesome for that. So, okay, perfect. So it's up to you guys, anyone that's watching this, and if you're brand new and you're thinking, like, I love using my tribes, I love watching the animations like Bun does, I mean, all the power to you. This is going to help you get the EX tribes faster, so definitely put work into this. But right now, I think the unanimous decision, until tribes gets fixed, co-ops are better.
I mean, even if they don't like make tribes OP or anything like that, I'm still happy to see them get buffed just because it adds more, variety to the game.
Right.
Right. You might see them go down more often. Might be enticed to use them more, and it's nice to change it up every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Instead of seeing the exact same, cookie cutter team you're fighting all the time, it's nice to see like a change.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna actually back up here on my screen, guys. I've done some shitty runs here. Nobody wants to see that. It's kind of disgusting. I'm actually gonna go back here because I want to talk about some predictions. Now we know we have quite a bit coming up for the announcement. I want to talk about what you guys think is coming up next. So we have You Are Naruto, we have the new Tribes campaign coming up, we have Jiraiya coming, and we have quite a bit more left to talk about. Like, we're looking at 1, 2, 3 announcements, and it looks like they're going to do 3 things per announcement. What do you guys think is next? What are we looking forward to? What predictions are we seeing? Like, me personally, I think that chat is something that they're going to implement for sure. That's a prediction, and I really hope they do. I think that blessing level up will be introduced for sure. It's about time. I think the last camp announcement we're going to be level increase again. So I think everyone should look forward to that. And I also think there might be some sort of either a cross-server battle or a tailed beast battle being introduced. So those are my guesses. Anyone else want to jump in here?
So personally, I mean, like you just said, level cap raise, that's going to be a thing. We've known that for a while. They have more than enough SRs now to fill out 2 new elite missions. So I think that either in the middle of or at the end of these anniversary events, they're going to raise the level up to 84. But beyond that, I think that an alliance, I'm sorry, not an alliance, a server-wide event such as a Tail Beast battle or a cross-server event would be really, really neat. But personally, what I'm hoping for is new Tower of Eternity floors. I'm sick of that, only measly 3K a day Eternity coins.
Please.
And also, I'm hoping that they add more Rio and EXP drills. That stuff just goes too dang fast.
Yeah.
But as far as what I think is actually going to happen, I mean, I do think that since Naruto and Jiraiya are going to start stuff off, I mean, I think they're going to come out with Nagato next to sort of round out the Naruto versus Pain story here at the first, section of ship amendment. And then beyond that, I think they could definitely do something with the Tail Beast. We've already seen a little hint here or there in the data mines. So a server-wide or even cross-server-wide event would be off the chain.
Okay, that's fair. And I think those are really good predictions. Now, you brought up Minato and Nagato as well, too. So what are we... Okay, so we know the last announcement in the 1 million download, it was a shocker because it was the beginning of the Akatsuki, right? We're going to get to them shortly. We knew that Sasori and Dedora were going to come out, and those were going to be the 2 biggest units at that time. Now, if they're going to follow that same pattern, Sage Naruto and Sage Jiraiya are not the biggest units to come out. Are we thinking that Minato and Kushina are going to be the last 2 units to come out as the big ones, or are we thinking someone bigger than them, like Madara?
I don't know about that because I think end of the Pain arc, I think Sage Naruto was like the biggest baddest, the big bad of the whole thing. Him and Nagato. I don't think Minato played like as an important role, right? I mean,
Right.
maybe flashback stuff like that, but I think when it gets to like the 4th grade ninja war and stuff like that, maybe it'll be more Minato and stuff like that, and Madara and everything. Maybe they might bring out Toby because there was a Toby versus
That's
Conan
true.
fight at the end. Remember?
That's true.
So
you think
but I
they're going to follow, like, I mean, the pattern has been following the anime, right? That's essentially what we've seen so far. So you think they're going to stick to that, even though it's a big anniversary, you think they're going to just stick to their guns and follow the anime?
Maybe, but it's Bandai, so they also, they can always go back and do, maybe OG Naruto and fight, I don't know, a new Kisame or something. I don't know.
Well, so I want to ask some other folks here. Are we missing too many Boruto characters? Like, we don't have any almost, right? Are we looking to maybe have a six Hokage Kakashi, for example, or like anybody think a Boruto character might come out? Some rares, for example. A lot of people are asking for rares to come out. So can anybody see that?
I think what's been going on, a lot of people are asking for Sage Mode Mitsuki,
Yes.
right? I think he looks pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie.
100% you are Sage Mode Mitsuki. A-type. Just kill the entire opponent as soon as his jutsu goes off. It's over.
We haven't seen enough of Sage Mode Mitsuki yet.
Or
so
just
I
die
don't
right
think
away.
he's gonna come soon. Maybe in a few years, but I don't think the game gonna last that long.
Yeah, Sam Smith said next banner is going to be 5 Pains, and I think African Amazing said it's going to be the ramen shop owner. I mean, like Swimsuit Haku would be kind of creepy, to be honest with you. So I think though a lot of us do agree that Minato and Kushina are going to probably be the next ones. I'm curious though because there are still 4 announcements, so that means we're going to have at least another 4 banners, right? Or sorry, another 2 banners. So I mean, if they come out next, then here's my guess, and this is my honest guess. I think the next 2 are going to be Zetsu and Toby, Zetsu and Toby, and then the last one will be Minato and Kushina as the last 2 to bring out. That's my guess. All right, so now that we're talking about a little bit about predictions, new events, guys. Are we tired of FG and Abyss? Or do we want to see something new, or are we okay with this pattern?
Something new, please, already.
Something new? Okay, fair enough.
I'm bored.
Yeah, you're bored. Okay, so let's talk about something new then. So what are we thinking here? Do you guys want to see something new that's single player still, or do you guys want something new that's PvP oriented, like
Both.
server to server?
Something that's not auto PvP.
Okay.
real-time PvP, and something new for PvE that it is actually fun.
Yeah. No.
We
I,
are
Something that
we getting
involves
tired
the
of FG and
alliance, maybe.
it's, we need something new
yeah.
and fast.
Sorry. And someone mentioned something.
Said something that involves the alliance, maybe would be cool. A new event.
Agreed, and I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people are looking forward to, right? Because I mean, the thing is, alliance in this game, every server has one dominant alliance, right? And the problem I think right now is that everybody else underneath them really doesn't have much to do, including recruiting or anything. But if you guys, if Bandai took time and made alliance versus alliance, and it was a power-based alliance war, or if they let all servers, crossovers come together and fight a tailed beast, for example, like a 10 tails, right? Like a Great War 10 tails, I think that'd be an amazing event to have for 2 weeks. And all you would do essentially is fight every tailed beast once a day, and whoever gets the most damage on those gets frags, Ryo, whatever the case may be, right? So I'm hoping that they somehow do this. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. But I agree, I'm tired I'm tired of FG and I'm tired of Abyss because all the resets required and all the time you got to put into it. I mean, Bun's the only one, or not Bun, sorry, Blue's the only one that's been kind of finishing these outside of Izumi, who obviously kind of started giving up like I did. So actually, speaking of which, so Blue, I want to point this out at you because you've been putting the most effort into this. How are you sick of this, or are you okay with these?
I'm okay with it. Gives me something to do in this game.
So do you find this to be like a challenge that you're excited to do every single time, or are you at this point kind of like, you know what, I'm just doing this because I have this reputation? Because you're a legend at this point in terms of events, and I'm going to say that. So is it more like what's pushing you is the reputation, or is it the actual gameplay?
It's like 60-40, 60% reputation.
Okay.
But at the same time, I kind of want to see like how much stronger your units have become, you know?
Right. Okay, fair enough. And I want to talk to Lady here real quick because I haven't had a chance to say anything to her. I apologize for that. You're one of the strongest characters on server 2 now, right?
Yeah, right under Bun, I believe.
Right under Bun, okay. And he's gonna obviously try to keep it that way as much as possible, I'm assuming. But I know Bun, I know Bun's kind of stopped playing as much. Am I correct on that, Bun?
Yeah.
Now, are these events for Lady and Bun? Are these events for you guys the reason why you're playing or not playing, or is it just the game as a whole?
It's just getting a bit boring with the same style every time. It is, I believe.
Right.
How about Lady?
Yeah, I mean, it's boring to an extent, but I mean, I can't hit over like 63 on this event, I believe. And, you know, my I don't have any 6 stars, but my units are pretty strong, I think. I'm just ready for maybe the tribes to implement, and you almost have to use a specific tribe to beat an event.
That's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea, actually.
We need an A tribe, we need a T tribe, we need the D tribe, you know, whatever the case.
Yeah, I actually really dig that idea. That's actually a really smart idea. If Bandai would listen to that, actually, that would be kind of cool. It'll actually force people to use this tribe event to get their tribes up and then apply it to something that we would use in the future, right?
Yeah, and that comes in the D Sasuke that we just got.
Right, exactly. Okay, awesome. No, that's wicked, guys. Those are awesome things. I really hope that someone from Bandai, if we have a spy in Discord in Bandai that everybody always thinks is there, if you're listening, listen to these things. These are good things for you guys to keep the game going. All right, guys, let's jump into the next question here. We know the Akatsuki is almost done. I think there's maybe 2 members that are missing, which we talked about, Zetsu and Toby. I want to know what you guys feel, and I'm going to go through every single server. What you guys feel about the Akatsuki units? Let's rate them from best to worst. I don't want all of them. Just give me the top and the worst. And then what would you guys ever consider making a full Akatsuki team as a main team, or it's just not worth it? So let's start off with AJ and MRN. You guys start off with MRN. MRN, would you ever use a full Akatsuki team, and who do you think is the best and the worst Akatsuki member in the game?
Honestly, probably not. I'm pretty disappointed in most of them kids, like Sasori and Kisame. I think they should have been better, way better than what they are.
Agreed.
AJ? And I like Deidara. I'm also disappointed in Itachi a lot.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think he's the worst, though? Or do you think he's...
No, definitely not the worst.
So who's the worst one, then?
He's probably one of the best, but that says enough about the Akatsuki, like,
right.
in general.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Okay. So definitely would not use a full team. All right, AJ, I know you haven't pulled anybody for like months. But
I can't use a full team.
Yeah, exactly. But
I mean,
you know them.
I feel like if I had everybody, I mean, it'd be fun just to mess around because like, I don't want to say it's like a collector's game or anything like that, but it's fun to try new things. That's what's good about like FG and stuff like that. You can use units that you don't normally use or whatever, which is always nice. But yeah, I'd wish that some of them were better. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like Itachi when he first came out. He was so weak, even though he hits really hard or such and such. But it's just that he's Itachi. We expect him more because that fight he had with Sasuke at the end, and he's like one of the strongest ninja, right? So you expect more out of Itachi.
Right.
So it's kind of a letdown. Overall, the first one that came out, I think Datara, he's the best costume member there is. Worst would be, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Kisame, or I honestly just forgot the rest who already came out already. That's how not important they are.
That's fair. All right, let's go to Abundant Lady. Are you guys using Akatsuki at all, or are you guys pretty much avoiding them?
I've been using Itachi, but I'm like him. I'm very disappointed in him, to be honest. I mean, I got him maxed minus orbs and scrolls, and he's a very, very weak hitter to me. I mean, just Boruto blows him out of the water. Everybody blows him out of the water, actually. He's my weakest hitter that I have on the roster.
That's sad to hear.
I know, but Datara is probably my top one. He's the best.
Yeah, I'm just using Didara as well.
Yeah, I think I agree. And do you have a worst as well too for Akatsuki?
I think pretty much beside Itachi, Didara, everything is forgotten already.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I personally think Sasori is the worst one. I think he's the fact that he has to die in order to be utilized. I think is probably one of the worst mechanics in the game and any content. And the worst to me, the worst part about it is it doesn't even carry over in PvE. Like when you do Abyss, if you sacrifice him and your squad dies and you bring in a second squad, that buff is gone the next fight. If they made it like transferable every single fight, different story. I would be like, yo, this guy deserves to be on everyone's roster for PvE. But the fact that it goes away, I think he's the worst. All right, let's go to S3. Blue Cup, or I don't know if Cup's back. Is Cup not back?
No, it's not.
You're not? Okay, no problem. So let's go to Blue. Blue, I know you're using a few of them. So talk to me about who you're using right now, especially for your PvE events and PvP.
Honestly, the only one worth using for me is Deidara. But I use Itachi here and there because, he's a 5-star for me. So his damage is kind of up there, but not as much as I want him to be.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are very disappointed with Itachi. I almost had the 7-star him personally. Then I saw his kit and I'm like, I'm going to hold off on that. But to me, he's honestly, one of the better ones. He does hit like a truck for me, for the most part, in PvP.
For sure, though. Top 3.
Yeah, top
Deidara,
3.
Itachi, and Kakuzu is probably top 3.
Yeah, I'll put Kakuzu before Itachi, personally. That's my thing. I think Kakuzu is way better. All right, let's go to S4. Zhao?
It's a hard choice for me because I don't have any of them built up.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Life of a free-to-play.
Yeah, exactly. Left for free to play. That's it.
But I think I won't waste my time making a full Akatsuki team. It's not worth it.
Right.
But the best one, definitely Deidara, is just so unique and so useful in so many situations. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst, I have to go with either Sasori or Kisame.
Yeah.
I can't choose between them, but one of the two.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's so sad because I know there were so many fans of both those characters that when they came out were so disappointed and tried their best to make them valid in their teams. And it's so hard to do. And I'm going to say Cougar, I think you're probably scrolling around here, and I think you were talking about Shino a lot and stuff. And, we all say that he pretty much, Kisame is essentially a better Shino, which is, I mean, to me personally, not much to say, but, some folks will like him, but I agree. Two of the worst ones. And let's go to S6. Lord Sesshomaru, what about you? I know you've got a full, now you're unique because you use a full D team. So I'm curious to see, have you got any Akatsuki in your team?
So personally, I do like to run a more tank and healing team. That's been kind of the thing I've used since the beginning, but I wouldn't go for a full Akatsuki team. I personally skipped most of them. I did try and go for Datara, but unfortunately I got shafted for 16k. But I mean, honestly, from the units that I already had, my whole setup was guard rate with Gara, take his little bit of damage, and stacking defense buffs and healing through pretty much all the damage because I was fighting up when I joined on. So for me, Sasori was the best when he first came out, but the other ones do have better kits. So at the time, I was running, I think, Blossom Sakura, Jiraiya, and Sasori, and because Jiraiya was dying off, even though I did have him buffed up, I guess while he was alive, he was stacking T damage. So my Sasori was able to do upwards of 200k
Okay.
because of the stat buffs where he gets that extra 50% when you have stun. So, I mean, he's not the worst. Personally, Kisame is the worst.
Okay.
Just because I don't really have as much utility for him. And then I haven't actually, I won't give a best because I don't have Datara. And I don't like the A units because of their HP and defense. And Itachi has very low defense, in my opinion.
Okay. Which is unique because most people gear towards the A unit meta, and you don't like the A unit meta. So that's a good take. S7, Shanks, Brody, talk to us. What's going on? I know you guys have a few of those kicking around. So who are you guys using?
You can go first, Brody.
So personally, my fault. I haven't been talking. I've been eating, but personally, I use Itachi, but the only reason I use Itachi is because I didn't pull Data to the double rate banner. So I wish I did pull Data at the time to get him 5-star, but the worst for me, it either has to be Conan or Conan or Kisame.
Yeah,
but
Conan. Okay.
It'd be cool to see like a double link, So like, let's say like you're actually running the links on your team to like actually boost your team up more powerful, so you can see those Akatsuki teams and those Team 7 teams.
I see what you're saying. So double their stats essentially if you run them
course,
together. Okay.
It's kind of bland in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. All right, cool. And then I have Dash.
So, you already know a little bit of my opinion on some of the Akatsuki, but personally for me, I mean, I agree with everyone else. The best is still Datara as far as all-around utility. You can throw Datara in any team, and he's going to be fantastic. However, I do think that the other two Akatsuki URs, Pain and Itachi, I feel like both of them can either be the worst units you have or the best units you have, just depending on your playstyle, your build, and everything else. So to me, those two are going to be really, really high on the A+ tier, just because it's going to heavily depend on how you build them. So for me, Pain's my heaviest hitter once you get a few rounds into Arena, because his ramp is so incredibly hard. His support is phenomenal. So Pain to me is what Itachi should have been.
Interesting.
And so for me, especially if you run them together, if you stack them up with some guard rate, get them through the first turn or two, it's a slow start, but then if you can survive the first round, they really can't be stopped once it gets going. But the unfortunate thing is they have to get going.
That's right, the ramp-up character.
Ramp them up with Datara, Kakashi, other units like that, and honestly, it's unstoppable. I mean, I'm beating people 30 to 50k above me at least 60% of the time, and I'm lower on speed as well, and I'm still able to start, hitting some wins against the top 1 or 2 guys on my server.
Right.
But I will also have to agree with everyone else here that Kisame is the biggest disappointment. And he's probably my favorite Akatsuki member in the anime. And to see his kit, I was like, oh, this is PvE only. Got it.
And I'm shocked because nobody here said Kakazu as number 1, which a lot of people know he's OP as hell. And nobody here said Hidan as even a member. And especially for Lord Shishimaru, who runs a D unit.
Who's that? Just kidding.
Yeah. So like,
it's different from me now.
Yeah, is it because he supports A units? Is that what makes a difference?
So the whole point of my setup was I guess I wasn't necessarily a whale, but I was spending a lot of money and a lot of investment into my D units. When I found out how busted guard rate was early game, I came up with the setup of essentially the more that I can guard and stack defense, and you're doing less and less damage. Like the guard rate from Itachi 6-star that I fight does maybe 20 to 30k against my Jiraiya or T Sakura. And personally, that means I can just sit the entire 20 turns and win with HP. But he wasn't going to do enough damage and he wasn't gonna stack my set of units. So
That's fair.
that's why I
That's
didn't
fair.
go for him.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think he's the same thing with I, right? Where he's great as a character single, but he supports A units, and if you're not running a heavy A unit character, it makes it a lot more difficult to put him on your team. All right, guys. So I mean, the general consensus here seems like Gedera is the top Akatsuki member, hands down. We've got Kisame to be the lowest, which seems kind of rough. And it's true. He's one of my favorite characters as well too in the show, and it's really they didn't do him any justice. All right, so let's move on from the Akatsuki here. Let's focus on something else. I actually want to look at the questions, guys, that were posted on Discord to us, and we want to have Dash here read them out loud, and we'll go ahead and answer some of these questions.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of great questions, a lot of not so great questions, but I'm going to go through a few of them. One of my favorites that I've seen actually is going to be, it's the first question that was posted in the main core chat on this is, what changes to the unit itself would it take to make Chiyo viable? And I can't wait to hear some of these answers, because honestly, this is my favorite question.
I'm going to start off because I've been bashing this woman from day one. And okay, so here's what they should have done with Chiyo to make her better. Not put her in the game. And number two, they could have given her a new move called Resurrection, right? Like, let her, when she dies, let her resurrect a character that's already dead. She does it in the game, or in the anime. They should have made her unique by giving her something completely brand new. If you're going to bring a character that nobody cares about, and literally nobody cared about her, give her something that makes her worthwhile. Now, I know, Nathan, you're on here somewhere in the chat room. That's assuming. I know you love her and you use her. But I'm just saying, though, like, there needs to have been more to her to make her viable. And I just want to point out, that was Bandai's worst revenue month because of that. Right? So, if you're going to build a character that nobody wants, make that character worthwhile pulling. So that's my take on it. I don't know. Everybody else, you guys can say. So Resurrection would have been my thing.
They should have given her a Instajutsu.
Instajutsu. Okay.
They have too many stipulations on her. It's like, honestly, I forgot what her kit was, but I think it's like, if she's first attacker, she does this. If she's second attacker, she does this. Is that her, right?
Right. That's her. Yeah. Exactly.
Just give her all of it.
That'd be too OP though. Like, but that'd be my point though, right? So
that's the point. Yeah.
Exactly. The way she works is if she's first, she'll heal. If she's second, she gives damage reduction rate up.
Do it all, because let's be honest, nobody cares about Granny Chiyo. Nobody. If you ask, what's your favorite character, nobody can say, I love Granny Chiyo.
All right.
Only for the memes.
Yeah, only for the memes, exactly. But that's a great point. Give her that whole kit. Why make her so situational, right? So, anyone else? Anyone else got any idea about Chiyo here? Before we put her back in the
Chiyo, I think she was everyone's favorite character the moment she resurrected Gaara, and then that was it. So honestly, they should just change her special to be, if she dies, Gaara just appears on your team in her place.
Just replaces
honestly.
her?
Yeah. So if you run her with Gaara, you just get 2 Gaaras and call it a day.
But wait, do we get the shitty Gaara who lost all of his powers, or do we get like the OP Gaara?
No, exact same Gaara. If Chiyo dies,
wow.
Make her way tankier,
Wow.
but if she dies, you get a Gaara.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she could be the first transformation unit. She dies, you get a free Gaara.
That's hilarious. I like that. That's actually probably the best one so far. Lady, I know you were trying to say something. Did you have something else to add to that?
Not too much. Just she could have cured status elements. Like a stun if she's active, poison.
For sure.
Yeah, that would be good. Like that. Damage reduction down, or something like that. She could have cured that. That'd have been awesome.
I agree with you. And then it's funny that you say that, because one of my predictions for her kit when she came out was that she was going to actually be able to cure status ailments like stuns and stuff like that, but they never appeared. And I think that's something they really need to add to this game, to add more of an element to stop making stun teams OP. And she would have been a perfect segue into that.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I started using Chiyo from a friend. He told me to start using her because of her heals with my defense team setup. It's helpful, and then her adding guard rate is kind of useful on the first rotation for force. But I mean, she's a jack of all trades.
So, what I want to ask you a question here though. When you said on her rotation, you're only talking about PvP though, right?
Yeah, I use her in Ninja World Tournament technically for power, but I wouldn't prefer to.
Right. Okay. And the reason why I'm asking is because PVE is completely random. She can end up in first position, third position, second. There's no rhyme or reason behind it, right? So, all right, cool. All right, let's go on to the next question, Dash. I think we've already killed off Chiyo. Back to the grave she goes. Let's go to the next one.
All right, so one of my other favorite ones on here was, and this is a question that we can ask to either anybody who wants to chime in or each individual member, doesn't really matter. One of my favorite questions on here is, who is your most underrated favorite character
in
the game?
It's a very good question. Anybody want to chime in here?
Hinata.
Hinata. Okay. And that was Shanks, right?
Yeah, I think early game, a lot of people were sleeping on her, not realizing how powerful she was, and she's a beast. She's not on my main team anymore, but I still sub her in for events and stuff because she still hits like a truck.
Right.
I still use her, yeah.
Anyone else got anyone that they think that needs to have a little more love?
I mean, it used to be Shikamaru, but they like kind of saved it in the last couple of events because then people started using
I
him.
agree. I'm like totally agree with you there. He was such an underdog.
Shikamaru is a beast if you have him leveled up enough.
Yeah.
One of my friends, and not in real life, but in Discord, shout out to Trikamaru, I don't know how to say her name. He uses Shikamaru. He has him at like 50k power on the energy cell, and he does a lot.
Yeah, he does quite a bit for sure.
He can tank. Yeah, he got Gara, but yeah.
Somebody said Eno.
He does a lot.
Yeah, he does. And he brings I think the biggest damage reduction rate, right?
Actually, yes, and that makes the next person to attack and everyone after to attack it a lot harder on that unit. Right. Especially I think he's a good. What's the word I'm looking for?
Is it a crowd control character?
Counter to Gara.
Oh, okay. He's a good tank killer essentially. He's great at killing tanks.
He can, if you debuff the right enemy, you can destroy him easily, and he got a stun, so he's really good in my opinion.
Yep.
Underrated. Maybe A tier.
A tier.
Low A plus or mid A plus. He's really good.
I can see that for sure. Anyone else?
I think Orochimaru is underrated, but I just want to give a quick shout out to him because he's really good.
Yes, Orochimaru is phenomenal.
Yes, but honestly, Tsunade is really good. I know a lot of people don't like her. I know a lot of people don't like her, but she's really good. Like, even before her LB2, when I did run tribes or when I didn't run tribes anymore because Jiraiya died so easily.
Someone's voice is getting all crazy. You got a robot in here.
But yeah, I think she was really good because like back if you ran a lot during the A meta at least, you ran a ton of A's and she would get their jutsu up just so much faster, and then
she's great for this event. I will give her this in this event. She's so situational for me because I use her in PvE because she's fantastic for giving chakra, but she's literally a chakra battery. In PvP, I cannot stand healers. Like, to me, healers is just a waste of an attack it's just like and I always bring this up, like when you're trying to stop a tribe or if you're trying to stop a co-op and you have a healer on your team using their special, it just ruins it for me. It's like I lose everything. So, but no, I do agree. She is kind of underrated right now. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with T Sakura. To be honest with you.
You know what's funny? I was gonna bring her up, but go ahead. I want to hear this.
So, I mean, I already posted.
Sorry, Lord. I think you're cutting up. Do you want to try again?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was saying I prefer to run T Sakura with Narukage and Gaara just because they do stack over that 100% defense buff for them. And personally, my Sakura has, I think, a 3-star weapon at the moment. And then she has scrolls and talismans from the Guts event because I went a different direction with the Naruto event and gave all my Guts scrolls and talismans to Sakura and Jiraiya. So she heals between 60 to 100k.
Interesting.
Especially when Jiraiya's jutsu buff starts going,
right.
then it just starts to get crazy.
All right, that's interesting. So I'm
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you referring to the Mama Sakura, or the
the T original Sakura?
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
The defense of Sakura, right? Because I know everybody agrees here that Mama Sakura is easily now the second, maybe still first best SR unit in the game.
Okay.
Right,
Yes.
so we're not going to say she's underrated whatsoever. Everybody should have her on the team.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure.
I mean, for me personally, guys, so this is going to be a weird one, and I think Sarada is actually one of the most underrated characters in the game. And I'm going to just throw
Absolutely agree with you there.
I'm going to throw this out there for a lot of people who don't know why she is and wondering like what. So I think a lot of people do is they tunnel vision a person's special jutsu and they don't focus on the rest of the kit, right? And this is actually what happened with Sasuke Kirin when he came out. When I came into Discord, I was known as 1010 2.0 because everybody thought that Sasuke Kirin was useless. Well, most people did. And the thing is, with Sarada, she actually gives you defense down on her skill 2 for the entire rest of the fight for all opponents. And on her LB2 and trait, she gives you attack up and the damage increase up, just like Sasuke Kirin does, but she gives more. So, if you're looking for a support character that can buff your damage dealer, Sarada is a perfect fit, especially if you put her on people like Kabuto who do more damage with burn or any status ailment. She is so underrated, and she's actually a very quick character. So if anyone's looking for a replacement for someone who can buff quite a bit, Sarada is someone you guys should be looking at, and she needs to be looked at a lot further by characters. So that's my take on that.
I still use her in Force because I don't have anyone else.
Yeah, I agreed. Anybody else? Anybody else have anything else? Can we move on to the next question?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I personally think Neji is a pretty big sleeper.
Oh boy, Toes is having a hard on right now.
Here we go again.
Neji is really good because he gives you chakra and the crit suppression and the crit rate up. I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody can confirm, but he's
crit
really good step-down unit. And I totally agree with Payne on Sadara. I personally still run Sadara because of the attack rate up.
That's actually a really good one, and I know a lot of people do say he's underrated. Has been underrated for a very long time.
I think the reason why is that when you compare Neji to Hinata, I think everybody prefers Hinata over Neji.
Agreed, and that's the problem. We're looking at it anime versions, right, where they're completely different characters in this game, and people should be looking at them as different characters. People think of the branch and the head family and the whole tie in the anime, which is part of the reason why we love this game, right? All right, cool guys. Let's move on to the next question, Dash.
Okay, so another good question on here, and this one's going to be a little bit more fun. And again, anybody can pitch in here. This one thrown in says, "What is each of y'all's biggest Naruto x Boruto tribes flex?" So I'll go ahead and start this one off. For me, it's having gotten Kira to 5 stars. After saving up so many omnis that the rest of my team severely suffered for the last month as a result. But I figured this would be a fun one to throw in for the veterans of the game. What's your personal biggest flex in the game, whether it be a character, a team, whatever, or for like some of my guys in some other alliances here, like their 7-star Shinos or other things like that. Like what's your personal big flex in the game?
I already know most of your flexes too. I want Bun to start. Bun, what is your biggest flex?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like, what's your most accomplished thing in the game? Like, what are you most proud of? Is it your speed? I'm assuming it's your speed because you've been the fastest character forever.
I think both speed and team adult 7 tribe.
Okay.
I've been investing on Papa Sasuke, even though he sucks.
Oh man. Okay. No, that's actually good. And shout out to you for being on top of your speed, man. You've been an inspiration to myself and a lot of others to keep getting faster and faster. So I think Yara just might have beat you just only because you haven't been playing the game as much anymore. But you've taken that role for quite a bit, anyways. All right, let's jump on to somebody else. Biggest flex.
I don't know if I have one.
I don't know if this is a flex or not, but I don't want to make any claims yet, but I think I have the most powerful free-to-play Boruto.
Oh, do you?
I think. I'm not sure actually, but
Oh, free to play Boruto. Okay, free to play. I heard the word. I heard the word strongest Boruto, and I was gonna go to Blue right away and be like, "Yo, bro, what's your
Not-
Boruto at?" Okay, free to play. That's actually a good one. I'm actually curious, and that's actually something. Zal, you bring up a good point. I think that people focus so much on power of whales that free to play don't get enough spotlight and credit on their characters. So, what is your Boruto at?
53,000
53K.
right
Okay.
now.
Okay, and do you have any weapon
Number-
upgrades or no weapon upgrades?
Weapon upgrades. Let me check actually. I have the game open.
Okay.
On gear, I don't have no weapon upgrades, 1 star. But my outfit, Boruto's outfit is 4 star, and everything else is 2 star.
Okay, so you've
Scrolls
actually.
and talismans both 3 star. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. MRN, I'm curious. You've been quiet. You told me not to put the spotlight on. I'm putting it on you now, though. You've been around for a very long time. What's your biggest flex? Is it ISC as a whole, as having the best alliance, or?
I think it was the period that I was like the strongest in server 1, and then as well as the alliance, like being the strongest in server 1.
Okay,
Now, of course, the power one has dropped down a bit, so it's just the alliance.
it's just the alliance. Okay, and that's a big flex though. Being the most powerful in server 1 is a big deal because we all know how competitive server 1 is. It's probably the most competitive server. So, big ups to you on that one. And yes, ISC is an amazing place, an amazing family for to play and with, and also just be a part of. So it's awesome. Okay, so what else we got here? Let's talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to say my biggest flex is about to be the Sage Naruto, but if I say that, I might not pull him. But I mean, he's gonna go from.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Man,
don't jinx it. All right,
man,
Brody.
This game owes me like 10 4-star URs in one multi.
I mean, you got an Itachi, so can't complain. Oh, Blindside.
I mean, 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it's true. So Blindside joined us, guys. Thank you for joining Blindside. It's nice to have you here, bro.
Yeah, sorry I'm a bit late.
Yeah, no worries. So we've kind of gone through a little bit of the interview, but the question, if you haven't heard, is what's your biggest flex in the game? So let me know, man, since you're here. What's your biggest flex?
I don't really know if I have anything I can flex on. I could say I was the first one in S League on Ninja World Tournament for Server 3, but I'm not even there anymore, so I don't know if that counts.
Okay. Yeah, that won't count. But hey, you know what? Whatever. If that's your flex, that's your flex.
I spent like 3 or 4 weeks in there by myself in S League. I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big accomplishment. I will say, though, for me personally, I think you're one of the smartest players on Discord and in the game. So big ups to you big ups to you for understanding the game and understanding stats and how everything works. I know you and I have had a lot of conversations about how everything works, and I've learned as much as I've given, right? So it's always nice to have that knowledge base. So thank you for that.
Yeah, anytime. Those are fun chats.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Blue, I'm going to jump to you. You're on mute. I don't know if you're drunk yet or not, but let's get to that. Biggest flex, bro.
I don't know, man. Probably just clearing events or damage.
Hands down, clearing events.
Yeah, the FG.
Like, what have you done so far? You've cleared every single event except for this last one. And what's your percentage at right now?
Right now, I'm on, as of 2 days ago, is 91%.
Jeez, man.
I'm trying to clear it by Saturday.
Yo, if you're looking at my screen, all right, I'm not that far away from power to you. I'm only at 66, unless this is because it's like the devil's number with an extra 6, so I thought it was kind of cool. But you're literally beating me by almost like 30%. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. So I want to know, because you said beating events, who's your most pivotal character you have to have for every event? Is it Kakashi?
It's like a handful.
It's a handful.
I need all the Kakashi for sure, Hebi for sure, and Kirin. Like those 3, I need them. It depends what event though.
Okay. But those are 3 pivotal ones, right?
Yep.
All right, that's cool. All right, let's move on then. Let's go to Dash. Dash, what's your biggest flex? You're in, and for people that don't know, Dash is a very new player, and I'm saying like he started when Server 15 was out. I think maybe a little earlier. So you're actually one of the newer guys here. So what flex do you have to offer to this panel?
Well, like I started off, my 5-star Kieran I'm very proud of. Not as proud as I should be because it did set my entire team back quite a bit, but I'm very, very close to boasting the strongest Pain in Server 15. which I'm pretty psyched about because as I mentioned earlier, I do really, really like the unit and I like what he brings to my specific build I made for him. But for probably 4 or 5 of the characters, I'm currently number 1 in server 15. I've got a lockdown on Kieran, Suigetsu. I had a lockdown on Karn and Jugo for a while, but I stopped using them on my team once I got better units. But for me, I mean, the majority of the heavy characters, I've got number 1 across the board on server 15. It's been pretty awesome just to sort of take my favorites and just hoard them like a dragon there.
Definitely. That's actually a really good flex. All right, we're gonna move on. Cup, you just joined us. I don't know if you're on your mic, bro. If you want to get off your mic and say something about your biggest flex, this is the time.
My biggest flex would probably be having the previous strongest 3-star character.
Oh yeah, that's right. Who was that?
Kakashi.
Oh, it was your Kakashi. That's right. He was freaking OP for that 3-star too for a long time.
Indeed.
And also, I think the fact that you have a different name every day, I think that really should be your go-to. You are probably the most unique named person out there. Like I can never. I have to always click on your name to be is this Cup or not. So, all right, that's actually a really good flex. That 3-star Kakashi is a big thing. All right, lady, I'm gonna jump to you next.
Hey, what's up?
So what's your biggest flex in the game?
Ooh, biggest flex? I really don't have one. I mean, my Sadara's, her stats are pretty right. Like, they're on par with a 5-star UR stats. Which I used a lot of orbs and awakening gear on her. But the whole team's 7. That's probably my biggest flex. They're not all number 1s in my server, but they're pretty legit.
Can I ask you a question then? Just because you are the only lady on this panel right now, and I know there are not many that we know that play this game. Are there enough female representatives that are worthwhile in this game to level up, or do you think there needs to be better characters that represent the female population?
Well, in the actual anime, there's really not any OP females anyway. I mean, there's some cool looking ones, but I'm going for power and strategy for this game, so probably good on female characters.
All right, that's good to know.
They need to add some, but
and the reason why I asked that is not because you're a female. I asked that because the creator of Naruto has actually come out and said he does not know how to create a proper character who's female. Like, he doesn't have that ability in the anime. So I was wondering if Bandai did justice to some of these characters outright. So that's the reason why I brought it up. So thank you for answering that. All right.
I mean, Wartime Tsunade is pretty legit, though.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very, very much looking forward to her. I hope she doesn't have slug healing, because nobody likes leeches.
Right.
All right, let's jump over to Lord Sister Maru. I'm curious to see what yours is.
Personally speaking, I feel like it's not fair for me to have any flexes, just on the simple fact that I technically am on the weakest server. Not necessarily saying, like, I don't know. I think I got the slowest server, and technically I'm the least power here out of everyone, and I'm ranked number 1 in all of my events in terms of world tournament, arena, and everything. But I guess it'd have to be my 5-star Jiraiya and this heavy that's going to be 7 stars.
I was going to say your heavy. I think your heavy is going to be probably the best or the strongest heavy in all of Ninja Tribes.
So technically, at the rate in which things are going, he's probably going to be the highest power unit that anyone has. Just because as a SR, he's going to be at like 75, 80K.
That's crazy. And now, is that without Gamma or with Gamma power?
That's without maxed out Gamma. So I'm almost, I guess, like, what do you would say, it was 4/5 of the way done with the first shrine.
Right.
And I just started working on the guard rate shrine just to help.
Damn.
But right now he's at 50, I think it's like 55K.
That's crazy.
And he's at, 6-star? But I'm about to hit Blessing 15, and then I'm going to be able to give him the next 15. Was it the 15 orbs?
Yeah.
And then I can give him the gear so I can 7-star his weapon. And then I can 7-star his weapon.
Yo, you got to show everybody on Discord that. Like, everybody's going to look forward to seeing that. So that's crazy. All right, let's go to Shanks.
I guess my biggest flex is building like a up and coming alliance under the the crazy ISC Shadow. I think Mythic has come a long way. We moved up the ranks pretty quick, so I'm proud of that.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys have done a fantastic job staying competitive with some of the bigger ones out there, because I keep seeing you guys in that leadership board, which, Cup, shout out to you that you keep putting together, and thank you for that. So yeah, you guys are doing amazing. I think that just leaves me. I think my biggest flex is the fact that I have the most 6-star URs in the game. Maybe I'm gonna go double check my roster real quick. And this is just not because I'm trying to flex. I'm actually just curious. I don't even know how many I have. Let's find out. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 8.
Well,
6.
as Cub said.
As Cop said, indeed. So I think I'm missing a little bit here for Gara, who's my next one. And I think I'm also missing Killer B a little bit here. He's actually closer than Gara. So I will be putting some effort on that. But that's my biggest flex, guys. Also, I think the fact that I single-handedly destroyed tribes for this game, I'm going to take credit for that. I don't care what anybody says. I think the fact that I proved it, and the fact that I really do enjoy, guys, helping you guys build teams and do all that stuff. That's not a flex. That's just more of like a passion that I have now. So thank you for all of you who put trust in me, and I know a lot of you could give back feedback saying, you know what, my team's better now than it ever was. So thank you for that again. It means a lot that the effort that I put in to help you comes out as a positive result rather than a negative. So yeah, but my biggest flex is hands down this, and it'll probably continue growing. Plus, I think I've got more than half the roster showcase now for the channel, and I'm only missing about 16 characters left. And my biggest downfall is going to be these guys here, which I'm not touching for a while. But yeah, that's about it. That's my flex. All right, Dash, thank you so much. Let's go on to the next question. We'll try to go a little faster on these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But before I do, read the next question. I did want to chime in there just at the end. You were talking about, helping with team builds, helping build the community, and all that other stuff. And honestly, even whenever I joined Tribes Lab, I had no idea your YouTube channel even existed. And so I had messaged you out of the blue because you were most active in the chat. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this team. And it's hilarious because then you helped me, and then someone in the main cord was like, "Oh yeah, Payne's got the YouTube," and I'm like, "Wait, what? That Payne?
Yeah.
Oh, neat."
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
And then,
for sure.
And then, I very quickly realized you were like the tribe celebrity here, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's the one that helped me get my head out of my ass when it came to this game." So just wanted to give a quick shout out to that. Obviously, thanks for all the help and. The last time I messaged you was mostly just a flex for the team that I came up with.
And it looks good. And it looks really good. It's
been killing it.
Exactly. So no, I appreciate that. Man. So thank you for that. All right, let's move on, guys.
Absolutely. All right, next question. So two different people have asked this question. One of them is from your very own ISC, and the other one is one of my Tribes Labs pals. They ask it slightly differently, but the gist is pretty much the same. If you were a Tribes dev lead for a day, what would you do? What would you do to make the game better? What improvements would you throw in? And the other person who asked this question asked it slightly differently. What was, same gist. What do you think you could do to make the game better? Improvements, new events, other things like that. And I have my own thoughts on this, but I definitely want to hear you guys, your input for it.
Well, why don't you start first, Dash? Why don't you start since you had a thought on it? Go ahead.
So for me, my biggest thought, especially as you just pointed out a few minutes ago, I am one of the newer players as far as this group is concerned. Honestly, I feel like they need more daily events. I mean, I played Naruto Blazing for 2.5 years.
Boo.
And the sheer amount of events in Naruto Blazing, I couldn't complete all of them in their rotation.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time in the day. I ran 2 different accounts on that game. And I was lucky if I got through everything on my main, let alone even getting like a little bit of a nudge through on an alt. Whereas on this game, I run 3 different accounts, servers 15, 17, and 19. And honestly, I've got enough time in the day to complete all my dailies, keep up with the stamina boost and everything else. So for me, I want more daily things or even more weekly things. And I know earlier we talked about the potential of there being, either cross server or cross alliance tailed beast raids. I would love for that to come in as a weekly event or even a monthly event.
Yeah,
like a 30-day long raid would be off the chain. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would totally be down for that. Either new daily or weekly events, I'm all for. And secondly, you have probably heard me complain about this several times now. I want more things to give me Rio. I'm always out all the time.
Yeah, I think that's a problem for everybody. Yeah, that's a problem for everybody for sure. For sure, I agreed, and that's a big problem in this game. But it's also a smart hard stop for whales, and it needs to exist where we cannot boost because if I was able to buy Rio, I would have every character maxed out at this point. So it's kind of nice not to have that. So definitely the tail beast I think is a great idea, and I think having a week-long raid is awesome. Let's go down to AJ. Anything that you would do as a dev here?
So I don't know about making games or anything, so I think making event stuff is hard and time consuming, right? You need to try it out, and because then you'll get like the first FG, which is just so easy to beat. But I think so. We're talking before about the Akatsuki team, and the reason why it's so hard is that if you pull one of the good units like Datara, yeah, he's amazing, but you might not be able to use him to his full potential because of link bonuses. Because you have to have every single character, right?
Yeah.
In order to get the max use of the link bonuses.
Yeah.
And when you pull a unit, it's amazing, right? It's like, speaking of increased rates, but when you pull a unit, it should feel good, not like, oh shoot, I pulled Itachi, but it's 2 weeks after his event, so he's useless. So you have a 3-star UR instead of a 5-star UR. So I wish they let us like buy a Shinobi with the Shinobi coins that we get, like the green ones that we get every time there's a new banner.
Right.
And like let us buy a unit so we can at least accumulate their frags for when we eventually pull them, That'd be nice at least.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
like limit them, right? So we can't buy every unit, but so we can pick and choose, okay, I really like this unit and I kind of pull them in the future and stuff like that, or events for older units so we can, I started this game late, I finally pulled a Datara.
That's actually funny that you mentioned that. So I've started to realize the trend here. The people that are starting new, Bandai's solution for that is we're going to give you a double banner. That's their solution. That's that for new players, you have double chance to get what old players were able to do. So I don't think they're going to do that. I think this double banner is meant for that.
But it'd be cool if that double banner was double rates, though. It's not. Yes. It's just double frags.
No, it is. They have increased the rates of the URs. So they actually.
Isn't it still 3% UR rate?
No, I think it's a little higher. I'm pretty sure. Actually, you know what? Let me double check that right now. I think
just because there's only 2 URs.
Only 2, exactly.
I mean, there's better rates for you to pull the unit you want, but not better rates overall.
Let's see.
It's the same rate for the UR.
For UR,
yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. My bad. You're right.
Yes. So I mean, if it was double rates, yeah, like Dokkan does double rate banners, so yeah, let me pull.
Hey, listen! Don't bring another Bandai game into another Bandai game. What the hell is this? No,
yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just joking.
I'm not gonna compare a 6-month-old game to a 5-year-old game.
That's right.
I'm sorry. It's just Yeah.
That's
what I'm playing now.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm not going to go through the list, guys, because this is going to get really long. Anybody else have anything they want to do? Like me personally, my biggest thing is what you guys just said. Raise drop rates for every single banner. Put a pity banner in there for every single banner. So Please. if you don't pull 50k or not even 50, put 25. If you don't pull 25k Shino coins, you're getting the character automatically. That needs to exist for every gacha game. And
I have every character.
Right, exactly. And not only that, but you should also give Shino coins at a lower cost. It's insane how expensive it is. So
update the Shino shop, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are my 2 big things. If anybody else wants to jump in, I'll wait 30 seconds. If not, I'm going to go to the next question.
2 things I would think would really help out.
What's that?
Global.
2 things.
Global's a good one. Zal, sorry, I just wanted Zal, you brought up a perfect one. Global is huge.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
That one would be huge. Reducing the stamina recharge time.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Make it more on par with any other games that use this little stamina gate here. It should be like 2.5 minutes per stamina instead of 5 like this game has it.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Everybody would love that one. Whale's free to play. Everybody would benefit from that. But then also an arena type mode that's free, no rewards or anything, just so you can try out different teams in the arena setting or the Ninja World Tournament setting without actually putting your team in and seeing if you win or lose and get the rewards or pass.
Absolutely. And just
it's
to
like
that
a training
point,
arena.
And to that point, I want damage meters, I want healing meters, I want tank meters. Like I was just playing another game, and after every fight, you can check the battle records, and it shows you most damage, most healing, most defense, or most attacking. And like in a game that's a team building game, that is essential for testing, especially because Bandai doesn't have a glossary for us to look at anything. They don't have any. They don't have any stats. What they do, we're having to test on PVE, which you can one shot everything, or PvP, where you're going to lose Shino coins and and the chance to be top 10 if you're doing things like that. So absolutely, I agree with you, man. Totally on par with that for sure. Anyone else?
And probably one more thing.
Yeah.
The frag exchange shop, like for example, we have too many extra R frags, SR frags.
Like, you're totally right.
We don't mind having like 100 R frag exchange into one SR frag, right?
Agreed. Totally. I think that's one of the things that we brought up a long time ago. Like I think I'm sitting at 5,000 R frags, and I just buffed up every single tribe.
Will.
Yeah. Listen, let me live in my ocean in peace, okay? Anybody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say in-game communication. That'd be the first thing I'd implement.
Chat
Definitely.
is huge. Chat is huge. And you know what's crazy? Because I know people at Mythic have been looking for your fellow S7 mates, so to say. And the only way you can really look at it now outside of the game is Discord or Reddit, and it's so hard to reach out to people. So definitely, I think with chat you'll actually improve the alliance recruitment by tenfold, right?
Yeah.
So totally. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next question, Dash.
All right, so next question on here is thoughts about current NWT and what would you revamp?
Everything.
NWT. Okay.
I knew this would start a whole flame war in this chat, so
okay.
I had to save it.
So there's a pain. I'm just gonna say something real quick about NWT. There's a love and hate for me for this because I love NWT because it's random, but I hate NWT because it's random. And the reason why I say that is because it gives people who are not whales the opportunity to get to S class. Because if it wasn't random, whales would dominate S and A, and nobody else would be on there. I think that's number one. People have to consider that. Because it is random, somebody who's level 72, for example, is an S class, and I went down to A class this week for the first time in 3 months. So it gives people that opportunity. But at the same time, what they really need to fix isn't the way it's structured, in my opinion. It's the awards for each league. Like, give out 3 orbs for S League, give out 2 orbs or 1 orb for A League, and then give Omni Shards for A and B, etc. Right? So there's more ways to get these really coveted rewards rather than waiting for 6 months for an event like the SR Heavy in order to farm those. Because right now what everyone's doing is they're farming
especially
Awakening
since
orbs.
it's a weekly payout. Make
That's
it
right.
a little more worth a week.
Exactly, right? So that's my biggest gripe. Sorry guys, anybody else wants to jump in, go ahead.
You should be able to fight people in your own tier because
yes.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense fighting people in your own tier because that defines who's the best in that tier to move up, in my opinion.
Agreed. 100%.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think NWT is something we all say needs to be revamped anyway, so let's go on to the next question, Dash. We have a couple more things we want to talk about after this, and then we'll get to the viewers Q&A, guys. So we'll be asking we'll be answering your questions. So go ahead.
Okay, all right. So another one of my favorite questions here from the Discord chat is, it's something that we've touched on, sort of touch and go, the last few minutes. But, how do you think Bandai should handle events such as Flashback Genealogy, Abyss, new events? And this is a shout out to one of my alliance mates in server 17 here. Just how do you guys think they should handle new events? And I'll sort of elaborate here. For me, the big question that I have is, what do you guys think on throwing in new events for things like we've already discussed, weekly events, alliance-wide events, server-wide events? Do y'all want new events, other things like that? Those are things we kind of touched on here and there, but I want to hear a little bit more in depth. What do you guys think about how Bandai should handle some of these things going forward? Because again, they are a business. They do want to make money off us, but they also want to keep us around.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think is sort of their best bet here?
Definitely the server competition. That would be pretty cool because usually the top couple players in the in the servers usually take over that server. So it'd be cool to see more competition, seeing server versus server. So you want to see the big dogs fight the big dogs.
For sure, agreed. That's a big one. That is definitely a big one. I think one thing that Bandai does right though is they put everyone in the same power category, so whales will never see non-whales, right? I think I like that, but with server to server, it should be the exact same thing though. They should make it whales versus whales across servers, not whales versus free to play, because it just doesn't make sense. But I do agree with you, Brody. I think that's a smart idea.
Yep.
I mean, some free to play. I mean, just because you're not a whale doesn't mean you're not up there. Like there are free to play players who have more power than me, and I'm a semi whale dolphin or whatever. It just depends, like if you're smart on how you spend your Shino coins.
Right.
But just because someone is free to play doesn't mean they're not, top tier. Like I think was it Zhao who's free to play?
Yeah, Zhao's free to play.
Someone.
Yeah. Binato also who couldn't join us, but he's also free to play, and he's got ults actually, and they're actually really good.
Oh yeah.
So definitely.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think another thing that Bandai needs to really do is tone down the difficulty. I think there should be easy mode, hard mode, and then like extreme mode. And people who are whales can do extreme mode, but the rewards are no different than hard mode, so everybody can actually complete it, whether you're a whale or not. It's just harder for you, but you're also capable. And the extreme mode should just be for people who just want a challenge, right? Don't give me anything extra. If I want to spend my time, because it's no stamina cost, playing this game, take away all tries and just make it strictly something that people can train or test on. And that's another way we can have another test environment. So make it more free to play friendly. Like, I hate the fact that I see Abyss and FG non-beatable for free to play players. It sucks. I agree. Like, I feel for you guys. So
I hate it too.
yeah, I know you do. Exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one, guys. We have a few more questions here. Dash, why don't you pick 4 more questions? Go to the next one for sure, and pick 4 more after that. I want to see what we got.
Okay, well, we're running a little bit low as far as the Discord questions.
That's perfect. So finish those up, and then we'll go to the Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one that I wanted to save a little bit more towards the end because this is going to get a little bit more. It's the answer is going to vary vastly differently between each of us. But what is y'all's most anticipated unit, and how would you want Bandai to make them? Jutsus, abilities, etc. For me, I just want 3 more copies of Suigetsu. I want a rare, I want a UR, and another SR. And I just want to run my entire team of just more Suigetsu.
I'll let you say that name 4 times already, and I said it'd be once only. All right.
There you go. I mean, I had to take every chance I could there.
Yeah, for sure. Fair enough. Okay. Anybody else on this one?
Sage Naruto, and then 6 Pass Naruto. The 2 main characters I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Obviously.
Perfect Sasano Kakashi. Cough.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a really good one. Yeah.
I guess Obito
I heard. Yeah.
without his mask.
Without his mask. Okay. Yeah.
Susanoo characters in general.
Okay.
The second Final Valley Naruto Sasuke.
That'd be a good one.
One of the third.
Shisui.
Yeah, a lot of people want him, eh? Like, I didn't realize how popular it was till I joined Discord. All right, let's move on to the next one, Dash.
All right, so as far as the Discord questions go, to me, that looks like it's pretty much it. The other things are either things that are, either way too personal or things that we're just not going to answer, or things that we've already answered. Some duplicates here.
All right, let's before we move on. Sorry, just real quick to interrupt. Now I know there's some folks on here that wanted to ask a specific question from the viewers. All right, let's actually go to the viewers now, guys. We've answered enough questions from Discord. Viewers, if you have anything you want to ask, this is the time to do it. Keep in mind, we're not going to answer any personal questions for you, but we will answer any game-related questions.
Now let's play catch up.
And while we wait, subtle flex to the home in Binato, right? Lowest damage on raids, 226.
Oh yeah, rank the servers. Okay. So this is Toes. That's actually a very good question. I like that question a lot. So rank servers. So this is going to be a big one because I'm not going to look at power only because we know ISE and server 1 has the most power. That's not a hit to anybody. I'm actually going to look at more your activity in Discord and what you bring to the game and the community because I think that's huge. So I'm going to go with server 1 as number 2, believe it or not.
What's number 1?
Number 1 is going to be server 7.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that is the Mythic guys have actually been very active in Discord. Now, I'm not saying server 1 hasn't been active, but it's just the growth, right? The growth that I've seen from F7 has been phenomenal. And server 1 right now, and as MRN can attribute to this, is we're having a hard time recruiting for ISC or some of the other alliances because of the power gap in server 1. Everybody knows you join server 1, you have no chance of getting there, right? So I'm going to go S7, S1, S3, and then I'm going to go S17, believe it or not, S17 because a lot of people have their alts on there, and a lot of the mains play those alts. And then for the last one, I'll go S5 because they have some of the biggest hitters. So those are my top 5 servers.
server 4 crying right now.
Yeah, sorry, server 4.
Server 20 win. Just kidding.
Anybody else want to give theirs?
You know,
I honestly
so
don't
for
spend too
me,
much time on main court, so I'm not sure who's on whose server and everything. So I'll stay quiet for this one.
All right.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'll chime in here a little bit. You know, with all the different servers, you know, and like I said already, I run an alt on server 17. I run another one on server 19, doing a little fully free to play challenge with a few buddies of mine, which is, you know, a good time. But I'd say probably 50% of the servers are completely dead, and that's kind of an issue, you know, for Bandai. And so I almost feel like that, you know, maybe some of these things should be sort of consolidated. You know, take some of the accounts from some servers, merge them all into one big server, you know, that sort of thing. But at the same time, then there's the whole timeline issue, you know, with server 1 having been around so much longer than, you know, server 12, 13, 14. But it is frustrating when, you know, you look at those servers, and like server 15 right now, it shows it's full. But yet, you know, I just for, you know, complete shits and giggles, last week before it filled up, I went on my iPad, made a new alt on server 15, and within 3 days I was top 100 in the arena.
That's right. That's
that
what I mean.
should not happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Should not
Exactly.
happen.
Exactly. And that's why it's hard to say some of these servers. But like server 17, which I have my alt on, I've noticed like I was top 20 trying my hardest, but now I'm down to top 200. So people are actually improving on that server. And not only that, but I'm also looking at it from a knowledge perspective. These new players are looking to learn and be better than the previous generation, which is us, right? Because we didn't know anything about this game when we walked in. We kind of paved the path for them. And I'm seeing a lot of these new players coming in and actually doing work and knowledge and coming in stronger than we ever did. So, and of course, resources make a big difference. These new events make a big difference. But it's I always say knowledge over power, and there's a reason why. And a lot of these guys are bringing in a lot of knowledge, which is good on them. Okay, let's go on to the next question. I think somebody asked here, would you ever consider quitting the game if things don't change? I think Bougie asked that question. Yeah, Bougie did. Okay. For me personally, would I ever quit? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would quit. 100%. If, like, you guys know I stopped whaling for a couple weeks because nothing was changing. I sent that Facebook post to Bandai. Nothing changed. But then they started making these adjustments, and it's getting a bit better. If it gets stale enough, it's a video game. Absolutely, I would quit. 100%. No matter what you spend on this game, no matter how much time you put into it, at the end of the day, there's better things out there. And if they're not keeping you as an audience, why would you stay? That's like staying with a girlfriend who's toxic, right? Why would you do that? Torture yourself. That's my own thing on it.
Maybe she's a baddie.
Maybe she got a baby. Maybe she got a booty. Yeah, who knows? But you know what I mean, though, right? So, does anybody else have a thought on this? Have you guys invested too much at this point? Is it too late?
I was actually quitting a week ago, but I changed my mind because the celebration is coming up and everything. So I was, let's give it a shot, see if everything changes. And I'm still here for now. I don't know if I will quit. Eventually I will, but I don't know when. It honestly depends on the developers of the game.
Yeah.
If they do things right, I'm gonna stay for more time, for a little while. But if not, I'm getting out. I can't play this game every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I can play every game every day, but it's too boring at this point right now.
Agreed. All right. Anybody else?
Can I just say shout out to MRN, because honestly, if it wasn't for Discord and IAC, I wouldn't be playing this game anymore.
Yeah, straight up, MRN. You are one of the
Tribes Labs team and everybody.
Absolutely.
Everyone agrees.
Everybody knows the community is what makes this game the way it is.
Yeah. Discord and everybody.
I just actually, before we jump on to the next question, Cougar, I'll get to your question in a sec. I had a question for MRN. I forgot to ask you this. So as one of the mods on Discord, can you tell us what your most offensive thing that gives people strikes is? Like, what is the number one thing that causes people to have strikes? I just want to know. I'm curious.
Hating on Shikamaru.
Trolling around, giving us more work than we already have.
Okay. Are we talking about like, are cuss words a big one, or are we talking about people who talk about off-topic things all the time? Like, I'm guilty of that once in a while, I have to admit. But
Off topic is one, but probably like being toxic or something to like other members, or if there's like people asking questions in team building and then just trolling around and not like helping, but like that kind of stuff is
Right,
just
right, and that's
annoying.
absolutely. And can I wanted to ask you this before, and I know I did. How big has Discord grown since the implementation of Tribes and you guys creating Discord? I know you weren't the official person who created this Discord, but number wise, do you have a figure in terms of in 6 months how big has Discord users got for Ninja Tribes?
I mean, I think before the game started, we were at around 500 or maybe 1,000 members. I
Okay.
think we're now at like 3,000.
Great.
Maybe a bit over, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
Something
thank you
like
for
that, yeah.
Perfect. Let's go to another question here. Cougar had a question. If I missed someone else's, I apologize. Just re-ask it again. Y'all think it'd be a good idea if the server connected only on NWT, where you face people in your league, like for example your A League, so you only match against A League opponents on other servers? That's actually a really good question, Cougar. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And you know why I think it's a great idea? It's because that would actually increase the league's numbers. So the amount of people in the league. So for example, S League will have more than 4 people and have like 12 or 14, right? And you get to fight other people in your level bracket. So I think that's a great question and it's a great suggestion. So absolutely.
Can I just say, like everybody talks about like a server merger or whatever. I do see it as semi-reasonable because a lot of people play on. For example, if they start out on server 1 and they stop playing, it's like an empty account that's taking up the server space. But when the game first launched, at least on mobile, there was server 1 through 10 all open, right?
Right.
So like I quote unquote re-rolled, and I stuck with my worst account on server 1 just because I didn't pull any URs, but I had a lot of SRs. So like I tend to have an account on every server. But yeah, I see it possibly happening because there's like you guys said, some servers are kind of dead. Not enough players to fill it out, and you see the same opponents over and over again.
I think what we need is a feature to delete an account on a server.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think Bandai might do it themselves. Like if your account hasn't done like the tutorial or something, they might like take it away after like maybe a month or so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this is coming to me. Someone asked me a question. So African amazing thoughts on the Naruto anime. I personally love it. I wouldn't be playing this game without it. So that's a simple question. But Box did ask, who is the worst unit in the game? It's a good question. I'm also a lot of people say Ino, and I'm gonna tend to agree to that, but I'm also not, because she's at least something that's different. I'm gonna say the stupidest ass unit they provided us when we started this game, which was the SR Naruto Kage. Why the hell would you give us that unit and not let us build it? And let alone the 5-star part of it is not even a fresh look. It's the only unit in the game that you turn to 5-star. It has the same animation as a 3-star. Like, did you guys just not put any effort into this? So to me, I think the worst unit is the SR Naruto Kage. That's just my take on it.
Fun fact.
But the worst part of that is the fact that you can get his flipping weapon frags out of the boxes.
That's right.
Yeah, that sucks.
300 weapon frags.
In server 4, in my level, in power, there are actually at least 2, I think, people who have SR Narukage at 5-star.
Yeah, and that's actually scary to me that people actually did that.
What is LB2?
Yeah, and the worst part is he doesn't actually heal on his special jutsu. Like, at least the UR version heals, so you have some validity of having him as a damage dealing tank. But the SR version doesn't have a heal, so it's just pretty much a pointless character to me. So that's my take, and I agree with you guys. Somebody who got him to 5, that's just a waste of SR frags.
I mean, he's not even in the tier list, so of course he's dead.
Exactly. All right. Any other questions, guys? We're going to be wrapping it up shortly. I know we've gone way over the time I originally planned, but this is amazing, and you guys being here and supporting us and showing love has been honestly worthwhile. And I hope everyone's enjoying their time here. So thank you for sticking around. Any more questions, guys? Toss them our way. We'll answer as many as we can. If not, I'll wait 30 seconds and then we'll call it a. Toes, you just want to know everything personal. You don't get any more questions. You made me do 2 summons and I got crap stuff.
How much do you all eat?
I eat 5 meals a day. I bench like 200, I think, maybe a little more. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's
But that's I was in this video.
Yeah, exactly. Are you concerned that the game still doesn't have a global release? That's a great question for Misery Gaming. I'm not, only because of this. Bandai and any of their affiliates who are devs don't always go global to be successful. So I'm gonna bring up Bleach, BBS, which was some Bleach Blade Souls, I think it was called, which I played for a while, and it only recently, 5 years later, released one new server to the Asian community, not even global. So I think the fact that they're not going global isn't a big deal, but I think they need to open up to Europe. I think that's the biggest problem. I think Europe is such a big market for video gaming that having to use a VPN and all these extra steps that you need to take in order to work the game is just not the way to go. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely missing out on a big opportunity not being in Europe yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're still testing some stuff about the game. Of course, we don't have a lot of features that we desperately need. So I want to think that the game is still in some sort of a beta state.
Yeah, and that could be the case for sure.
Yeah, that's what a lot of companies do too nowadays. They'll push out a game that's playable or whatnot, and even if they don't label it as a beta, you're pretty much still beta testing. And that's why a lot of them wait to actually push for that global launch when it's actually fully ready.
Yeah. All right,
so we could be all glorified beta testing right now.
We could be,
much.
exactly. We would 100% be that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So Amazing Spam asked a question: would you introduce another R unit, or just R units in general? Okay, so I'm a stickler for this one, and if anybody wants to jump in, go ahead first, and I'll give my piece on it after. Anybody thinks we need more R units?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We
I have like 400 rare omnis, and my Mitsuki's already maxed out. So like, why do I care anymore? You know.
Okay.
Wait, there are rare Omni fragments in this game?
Yes.
Just a fact.
Yeah.
Wait.
They're about as useless as the regular rare fragments, but yes, they exist.
So
You may have a lot.
it's funny that you guys say yes to it. I am so against R units, and here's the reason why. Take away the whale aspect of things. Okay, after a certain point, R units become null. They're useless. They will sit in your bucket, and they'll be used as team 4, team 5 on your teams for like abyss and stuff. The reason why I don't think R units are required is because SR units are so much easier to level now and also to get. So why would you want to stick to R units? Why not just upgrade them to SR units and just take away R units altogether?
If nothing else, even if we don't use the R units, they can still boost speed.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you can still level their speed and provide the team bonus that would be much more difficult to getting an SR or a UR to like speed 6, speed 7.
Or also because R units, what's it called? They'll get the limit break first, right? So they'll get limit break 3 like 2 weeks before any other SR unit or UR unit, you know?
Okay,
So
those are good points. Those are good points. Okay, I'll take that into account for sure when I have my opinion next time. All right.
Also, not all whales here are paying.
Most of you guys are. Shut up. Okay,
Yeah, we are.
So let's go on to
Pretty much.
let's go on to the next here. I think someone else asked a question. Sorry, I'm gonna use my stamina. Thank you, Bro Moment, for notifying me. I have a lot of stamina I'm not using. All right, let's see here. Who else had a question? Ghost Gaming. How do you think they will release backstory units like Shisui and Enbu Itachi and Enbu Kakashi? I think once they're completed the main storyline for Naruto and up to the point of Boruto, I think they may end up going back and creating those characters. Or the other thing they can do is make them anniversary characters or special event characters. But I don't see them coming out as regular banners. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
That could work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much just wait and see what they do.
Yeah, that's kind of what Bandai does. Like, they'll go through like an arc or a story event, and then they'll come back to it later on.
Right.
I mean, from their other games that I've played, but again.
Let's just do this quickly. I'm just going to do 50, guys. I never do this. Ignore this. This is not how I roll this game. 50 is just... I'm just trying to get through the stamina right now.
Bro.
Well.
Oh my god, please. Payne, give me elixirs.
Well, I'll give you as many as you need. I don't even know what I'm doing with all these anymore. Okay, so what else we got here? Who's the most underrated character in the game? Anybody have anything for that? Anyone who's the most underrated that people should be using more of?
We already touched on that, but definitely Sadara.
Oh yes, we
Yeah.
did. Sadara,
Sarada.
yes.
Yeah, there is one I want to add to what was discussed earlier about it. I'm still gonna say Killer B.
Yeah, I'm actually
Killer Bee.
so
The
blind.
more
I'm actually
predominant the
building.
guard rate gets in the game, the better he's going to get because he keeps stacking his guard suppression.
Right.
So all of your guard rate tanks, it's not going to matter. He's just going to hit you full on.
Yeah, I just want to point out, blind. I'm actually working on him right now. So there he is, right there, 50k, and I almost got him to 6-star. I got a little away though, but I am actually putting work into that for exact reason because I'm noticing the meta switching over to D units again, and as you said, guard suppression is going to be a huge one. So I agree with you. I think he's underrated at the moment.
Yeah. He won't always have a place, most likely, but for now, especially as they introduce more good D units that have guard rate for the team, like we've had Gara, but now Asuma, this new heavy, as his guard rate starts to get more and more predominant, he's going to shine more and more.
Agreed, for sure. He still has the worst stats for a UR, which sucks. But I do agree his stacking abilities, if you can make him survive, will prove to be useful.
Keep him around for a little while, and he will definitely outperform even all the other URs that have better stats.
Exactly, agreed. All right, let's go 3 more questions, guys. Sorry, I'm just gonna because we're almost wrapping up here. Ultimate Masters.
I'm seeing an interesting question over here.
Which one are you seeing?
Do you guys think that they're going to buff or nerf some older characters later into the game?
I was literally going to go to that one, so good job finding it. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So,
nerf as well?
Nerf as well, yeah. Do you guys have anything? Do you guys have any comments on that? Do you guys think they should be nerfing or buffing characters, or leave it as is?
I mean, buffing will probably happen through newer limit breaks. So
most definitely. We got 4 left, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know about either buffing or nerfing them yet. We still have the more limit breaks that was mentioned, and if they want to just make something better, they can introduce a newer version of it. So I think the power creep is going to be more likely than actually nerfing or buffing older characters. Because you make the older units more viable, more usable, then it's not going to have as much incentive to buy the shiny new units.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go out and nerf units out of their way because it's you're spending money to get this unit and then it gets nerfed. I don't think that's gonna work. I think it's more like the way to nerf it is that they'll introduce a unit who's better than that unit, or just stops that unit in its tracks.
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah, so I don't really see too many changes to existing units.
They'll just
be thrown into obsolete status by being replaced by better ones.
I mean, the way things are going now, they're going to be the best unit for a while.
Oh yeah. So far, the power creep has not really happened at all, which is good for us. But you have to figure eventually new units are going to be stronger than the current best ones we have.
I mean, let's be honest here. Who here still uses Kakashi, Gaara, and Hebi?
I use all 3.
Exactly same.
I think we've all said the OG3 URs are the best URs still in the game.
Easily.
Easily. Except for Kieran. Add Kieran and Dedera there, and you've got the top 5 there. But no one's going to touch those 3. But the OG3 are easily the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was another question here, guys, from
except for Chiyo.
Do you guys see any type of manual PvP being in the game? The way the game's going, I don't see manual PvP ever coming. I really don't. Which sucks.
So, for me, having played, again, having been on Naruto Blade 2.5 years before I finally just decided to save my... Their live PvP was just so bad that honestly, I don't ever want to see it again. And I got one of my coworkers into this game, and that was his first complaint. He said, well, there's no live PvP. It's like, yeah, but Bandai's not great at it.
Yeah. I can see that, but don't you think though it would make putting together teams easier if you control how you ran? Like for example, perfect example of why manual PvP would be better. Tribes would be valid. It would literally be valid.
Manual and live are 2 different things. I think live PvP wouldn't really work so well for the game, but just unlock that auto button so that we could have control over what's played.
Right.
The opponent's still going to be AI. It's not going to be live person versus person. I don't see that happening, and I don't really think that would work here anyway. But just let us manually control that fight.
Also, to add to that real quick, if you're not going to let us manually control that fight, let us skip from the beginning. Don't let us, load into a fight and then, if you want to skip it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you can skip it right now, you can just...
Yeah, or the missions or whatever. Yeah, if you want to skip it, just do that.
Okay,
I think like a manual PvP would be nice though, because you get a lot more to team building and.
But I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
I don't think it's going to happen either. It'd be nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So
again,
there's a question here, guys, from Jen. Para, is Adol Sakura the best healer? No, she's not the best healer. She's definitely the best SR.
Yeah, she's a good support, but
She's a
best
great support.
healer, no.
Tsunade. I'd say.
Tsunade, probably the best healer, and Blossom.
Yeah, they're easily better healers, but Adult Sakura is a very, very strong support. She just does more than heal.
Right. All right.
I feel like there was a lot of potential, but everybody missed out.
All right, guys. So let's go one last question. And then
I
we're gonna
see
call
another
it.
really good question
Yeah,
over
which one?
here. So we can save this for the end as well. Tachibana had posted in a while ago and said, "When can we expect another stream like this?" I felt this is a good one to leave till the end here.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I just kind of touched upon it. So if this is going well, guys, and you guys are enjoying this, I will do another gathering like this with maybe more people, and we'll keep the same audience, or sorry, same panel, and add a few more. But I think what we'll do next time is we're going to do the last announcement, and we're going to just discuss the 6 month as a whole. So we've given our predictions. We'll gather again when the last announcement's made, and we'll see how many of our predictions were correct, how many were off, and then we'll talk about the state of the game in general. Right, 6 months is a lot of time for this company to get things right. So I think that's going to be the next collaboration, and if people on here are good for that, that's I think when we'll do next.
The last announcement is in like the 9-6, September 6th,
so
or
we'll reconvene in September. Exactly. It doesn't, guys. So this doesn't mean though that we're not going to do other collaborations. Like we want to do tier list collaborations to show you guys how we create the tier list, and you guys can be a part of that and give your opinions on it. And a lot of people have opinions, and it's great to get them out. And it may change some of our rankings. So we may do eventually a collaboration for tier list. We may do more collaboration summons like Blue and I did. We can add more people to it or different ones. So definitely there will be more collaborations out there.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a question. This is a question for all you guys. Not everybody has to answer, but what could tribes do to boost the longevity of the game?
The biggest thing right now is summon rates, man. I'm telling you, like I remember when Itachi came out as the first big character everybody wanted, and I remember people dropping like flies because of the fact that they couldn't pull the character they wanted. And we're talking about free-to-play players who saved for months. Like we're talking about like 30k Chino coins, going through every arena painstakingly, not going to Omni fragments, and then going through 30k and not getting one UR. Like that is ludicrous to me.
We need a pity system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think, because first and foremost, before this is a Naruto game, I think that this is a gacha game, right? And the most fun aspect of a gacha game is summoning, right? Like there is a lot of PvP and team building and all this stuff, but like gacha games, the fun part's supposed to be summoning. But nowadays it's like when a new banner comes out, I'm like, oh please, just let it end quickly for me,
Yeah.
Like I don't have to go that deep in order to not get anything, and that's like the worst part about this game, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not that fun to summon.
No, it's more stressful than anything else.
Exactly, and that's something they need to definitely change, because when you have a ticker and like you're close to the end of that ticker and you're going to finally get what you wanted, it makes it so much more satisfying than going through this insanity. Like I personally spent 125 Shino coins for a character I'll never use, which is Hidan, right? And then I know somebody who spent 100 like on ISC spent 155k Shino coins and didn't pull Itachi once. That's crazy. So
there's no excuse for that.
There's no excuse for that. That's just being greedy as a company. So that's, I think, the biggest thing they can do. If you want people to stay, if you want people to enjoy the game, this is a gacha game. People get excited over new characters. They want to use those new characters. If the kits suck, that's a different story. But this is a very animated game, and people want to see those animations. They want to own those animations. So I think summon rates are the biggest thing for that.
Yeah, if you have a gacha game, but the gacha is shit, the game is shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
if the gacha is not good enough to get you, then nobody's going to stick around.
That's right. So guys, not to say that this game, we're bashing the game because we all play it, we all enjoy the game. There's a reason why we're still all here, right? But there are obviously improvements to any game out there, and I think everyone can agree this is the biggest one.
Yeah.
I think besides summoning, they should also just like hype the game more up. Like I want to see like foreshadowing or like just telling us some events are gonna come, some new stuff. It doesn't have to like they don't have to release it already, but just like hype it up,
Yeah,
announce it for like
I
in the
agree.
future.
I agree, Amran.
Yeah,
And I
more
think there's a
more
message there.
interaction with the community
Exact
Yeah,
is
communication.
always going to be welcome.
African amazing, yeah, exactly. Like Epic 7 summonings, exactly. There's a pity system in that. You summon X amount, you get it. So another game I'll
Some of
probably
the
be covering.
tins. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, guys. So that's it. I think we've done a lot of it. We're almost at 9 o'clock. We've got 2 hours into the stream, and it's I'm very impressed that you guys stuck around. I'm very thankful that you guys stuck around. So you have my thanks. You have the thanks from this panel. You guys in the panel, I appreciate you guys so much for coming through and taking the time to do this. So I hope you guys all had fun. Anyone have any last things they want to say? You want to give a shout out to your alliance? Are you recruiting? How's your server doing?
Shout out
This
to
is
the
time to do it.
boys.
Shout out to S7. Keep being great.
All right.
Yeah,
with that,
if there's anybody who's listening in who is 15 dismayed that server teledead, my alliance leader Sabo and myself, we run the Renegon Discord chat, and again, no one's on server 15 that actually pays attention. So come on, join us. Just under number one, just has all the whales. So here we are.
I mean, I recommend everybody just join the Discord in general. That way, you can help with team building, and maybe if you need an alliance member, you can go there. I think everybody should just join the Discord. That's like the best community you can go to right now.
agreed.
Other than the YouTube comments pane, Other than that,
Yeah, no, for sure. No, and honestly, we appreciate you guys for the support, and we want to entertain as much as we want to be informative, right, guys? So keep bringing up your questions on Discord. Like AJ said, join Discord. That's the main thing you can do, really, and that's where your source of information is going to come outside of my channel and other people's channels. So shout out to LA Summers, shout out to Savage Gamers, shout out to all those YouTubers out there. Like Shank's got a channel, Cougar's got a channel, Toe's got a channel, there's so many people out there doing different content, guys. Don't stick to one content. Go to other people's as well. And those folks at Reddit that are actually listening into this, jump on Discord. I'm telling you right now, a lot of you guys contact me through Reddit chat, and I don't get to you because I don't chat on Reddit. But it's not that I don't want to. So jump on Discord, reach out to us. And team buildings, guys, that channel, there are a lot of knowledgeable people out there, and a lot of people who will give you amazing information outside of myself. And this is why we made this panel. These are some of the best players in the world for tribes, and you guys should be looking to them for some advice as well too, and also give them the credit they deserve as being some of the top players out there. So again, thank you to the community, thank you for the panel, guys. It's been fun. So let's call it a day, and everybody have a wonderful night.
Morning for me.
There you go.
Sounds
morning.
great, man.
Morning for you.
Thanks for having us all here. This has been pretty dope.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
guys. All right.
Thanks for inviting me.
Shout out to Binato.
Yeah, shout out to
Also,
Benato,
and
Savage
Cup, and everybody
Gamers.
who else was quiet.
Exactly. All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful night. And just a FYI, guys, if you missed this, it'll be on my channel as a streaming item. So if you want to rewatch or miss something on it, it'll be available for you there. All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful night. Take care.
Yes.
You